All right, well, I'm ready to go. Talk about this piece of garbage.
No way, man.
I mean, this
I
awesome,
love this movie.
this awesome thing.
Yeah, dude. We got young GB.
Oh,
So D2K, in case, the viewers didn't know what we were talking about from the thumbnail that they clicked on. Duh. D2K, Dracula
D2K.
2000.
For centuries, a secret has been buried beneath the streets of London.
You don't build this kind of security without a gold to hide.
Something ageless,
What the hell is that?
The Holy Grail, the Golden Fleece, the crown jewels, whatever it is, it's inside.
something powerful, something beyond your deepest fears.
What has happened in there?
He is possessed of... Who? Dracula. Not myth, he's real.
yeah.
So I had the opportunity to watch this once back in the day when it was in the cinema.
The
I
cinema.
chose to watch the piece of shit Castaway. And everybody made fun of me.
Yeah.
They're like, it's up to you, Cody. You got the deciding vote. Pick. We're at the duplex. So I was like, Castaway.
right.
And they were like, you're a scaredy cat. And I was like, no, this shit just looks fucking gay. But then, years later, I learned that our great legendary hero,
Right.
you know who I'm talking about, old GB.
There he is.
Yeah, there you go. Gerard Butler, a little baby face. You would not
Hmm.
recognize him today. He is not aged
Yeah.
appropriately.
Like,
Yeah.
if you watch
Okay.
that latest, White House Down, whatever the fucking movie we saw.
It's great.
Whatever
With the
it was.
drones, the drone swarm.
Yeah. Where he's like best friends with the president.
Yeah. How much did they have to pay that dude to be in that movie?
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
Probably a lot, or maybe he just does whatever now because like this voiceover
You think he
shit
doesn't
alone.
care?
You know how much he must charge for voiceover shit alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is him 20 years ago. It's 2020 as we're doing that
Yeah.
October as we're doing this
Yeah.
here, and that's 20 years ago. give or
Spooky
take.
time.
Looks
Yeah.
like this is.
They're already playing. They're already playing Christmas music at the Hobby Lobby. I was there yesterday, and I got so pissed off that I left without buying anything.
Why do you go to Hobby Lobby? That's like church with a cash register. Go to Michael's or Rose's.
Oh
or
God,
something.
I keep forgetting about Pikel's. Well, they're close to the game store. I wanted to go to the game store to see if they had shit, and then when
Yeah.
they don't have the shit I'm looking for, I go, couple 2-tree blocks there to
Yeah.
the old Hobby Lobby.
I'm just saying you should
Mhm.
really think about not going to Hobby Lobbies because I didn't know it even existed until it had like all that bullshit political stuff. I'm like,
Controversy.
yeah. It's like,
Ew.
I didn't
Oh
know.
no!
yeah.
I spent a lot of money there the other day.
Well, now Jesus has
Not
it.
the Christmas day. Oh fuck. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
better hands.
Jesus.
What better grubby, sticky, slimy hands to have on my money than the Jambus? Gee whiz.
But our buddy here, GB, is. Oh yeah, you were saying about the movie. You went to see it in the theater, and then they made fun of you.
Well, I didn't. I chose to watch
That's right.
Castaway.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. They're like, you're scared. And I'm like, no, it looks dumb.
If anyone was scared by this
Then-
movie, they're right because this
Yeah.
is terrifying.
Oh yeah. I was, on the edge of my seat. Actually, no, I was in the back of my seat trying to get away from the screen because I was so
Yeah.
scared.
I
So
think I saw-
what genres would you say that this movie, or what IPs would you say this movie collides and smashes together?
Well, you
in
get
a slurry
horror.
of-
It's a horror
Yes.
movie.
Okay. I had that on my list.
It's a romance because
Mm.
Dracula likes the girl. Like all the Dracula stories, it's like, oh yeah.
Was it a romantic ideation that he had? I know that he's like sexed out and like wants to have sex with everybody because he banged the roommate Lucy.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucy Goosey.
I guess it wasn't too romantic because he disliked her because she had some like vampire blood shit and she was born with it.
Yeah,
It was
she's
less about-
got the Ray Force.
Yeah.
All right, so that's on my list too. Star-Wars, because she's Rey and he's Kylo, because they do the speaky talks.
They do.
In
They
her
do
brain.
a thing where there's a scene where it's like they're in separate places, very far away,
Mhm.
and then they're in the same place and they can see each
Mhm.
other's rooms.
Well, she thought they were dreams, and then they were just too real. And then she like goes to talk to Nathan Fillion, the actual Pastor Dave. Hey, is this the second movie that we saw together that had a Pastor Dave in it?
I think so. There was a movie with Pastor Dave.
There was, yeah, because the Nathan Fillion's character, he was also Pastor David. And I'm like, well, Dave, it's the same thing.
Yeah, David.
So yeah, we got Star Wars, we got horror. This is a vamp film.
Yeah,
and because this was hovering around the old Columbine 9/11 days, new metal. NU dash or space, either or, METAL. Yeah.
New crunchy metal with like gothic dramatic bullshit in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard what's his name? The dead guy. Linkin Park in the credits, right? That was Linkin Park in the credits, I think. And then
they would save that.
I heard Marilyn Manson.
I'm
That's
sure.
the first of two rapists in this film. We can't forget about that 70s show guy, which just kind of made me feel all gross, but I was glad that he wasn't in the entire movie. So we got to see him die twice, which was good.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Sorry. So yeah, we had those two guys, but more new metal. I feel like there was at least one other thing. I mean, look at GB.
I know.
That's new metal.
That's
right?
dark. That's like dark. I look at him like
it's pretty boy, wimpy. I mean,
I feel like he's going for a Jim Morrison there. You know?
Yeah.
Like a Dracula Jim Morrison, like at least in looks. I mean, not in like acting.
Yeah.
Then whenever I watch a vampire movie, I kind of think, okay, what are the vampire rules in this movie? Like, how can they die? Like some movies they age, some they age slow or they sparkle, and then like when they drink blood they get young again. And they're confusing this one. Because sometimes the silver burned them, and sometimes it didn't, and sometimes
they had to really hold on to it. They had to really grip it for it to hurt.
Well, and then sometimes they shot him with those silver spike things out of that weird crossbow thing, and sometimes it's like, oh, you killed me, and sometimes like, yeah, I don't care. That didn't do anything. And then my other vampire.
They also had the Force. They had Force talking.
Yeah,
they had.
Other vampire movies have that. That's not completely
because it did make Drac young. Yeah.
Yeah. And then my other vampire thing, which I always have a big problem with, is how do they make vampires? Because if it's like a vampire bites you and lets you live, you're just, oh, you were bitten and that's it, whatever. Or is it like a vampire bites you and then, like in the Anne Rice movies, in the books, like in Interview with a vampire has to drain you to the point of death almost, and then you drink its blood and then it replaces your blood. Yeah. Then you're
it's like an exchange.
Yeah. But in this movie, anybody they bite, they turn to a vampire and they have to feed. So that would mean every time they feed, they make a vampire, and that vampire is now a vampire or whatever, and that vampire has to feed, and so every time a vampire feeds, they make a new one, and now you've like doubled your population like every night. Because everybody they bit just turned into a vampire. Eventually, they'd run out of people because we'd all be vampires.
Yeah, but that would be a really easy way to take over the Staten Island. If you had that nice proliferation like that.
It would be easy to take over Staten Island, but eventually you'd run out of food, though. There's actually a movie about this. There's a movie that has Ethan Hawke. I forgot what it's called, but like it's about how there's the vampire thing is spread so far that like that they keep people like separate somewhere because they have to be responsible and not eat all the humans. So some movies talk about this. And yeah, he can turn into a wolf, turn into bats, turn into smoke. There's these leeches. There's leeches that have like vampire blood. I guess they're feeding off this.
Well, the leeches. Matthew Van Helsing put those leeches in there to keep him drained, which I don't understand because I don't know that he has living bone marrow. I guess in this universe they have bone marrow and they can make their own blood, and that's why he has the leeches in there to like drink.
That makes sense. I didn't think about
continuously.
That. Yeah, so he's in the silver coffin, and okay, that makes sense. I just thought there's just like, it's okay. So there's leeches, and then it's Abraham Van Helsing, and then he was accidentally infected with vampire blood, so he stayed alive for all these years just so he could like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why. But yeah, he's staying alive and
he's trying to figure out how to kill that which can not be killed.
That's another thing.
So that's why he's got.
He says beheading
But I mean,
him,
he's got his daughter.
But he says you can behead him and do this and that. But why didn't he just behead him while he's in the coffin? And then it's like sunlight.
That's
duh.
True.
Why doesn't he just pull? Okay.
Well, he could be doing like Nazi experiments on him or something.
Oh, I'm sure he's doing some
Dutch,
sort of experiments. But why doesn't he take the coffin he has?
Yeah.
Made of silver. He's trapped in there, and then you drag it out until like in the morning when the sun comes up. And you open it, and poof, he's gone. You got a sick boy from Train Spotting. He's there, Simon, and he's working with Van Helsing. He doesn't know he's Van Helsing. And then there's Mary and Lucy, and they work at Virgin Records in a record store.
Yeah.
And
over there in New Orleans, the vamp cap of the world.
Yeah, and they have a nice house, but I think it used to be their parents or something.
I think they
Mary's
rent
parents.
Because Lucy lives on the ground floor and Mary lives on the top floor. So it's like one of those old houses that's like split into apartments.
That is a nice place for a fucking chain.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they work at the fucking Virgin Records and they're like college students. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's paying for that.
There's like a blurry spot in my mind of how everybody gets together. There's a robbery. That's right. There's a robbery in Van Helsing's vault.
Yeah.
And this group of like Matrix-looking dressing people go in.
Yeah.
And they bust in and
they seemed a little amateurish though.
They did.
They had a plan. They had costumes. They had all this stuff. Yeah, and whining. Like an anime or something like that, where everybody's just fucking whiny and bitching all the time and too young.
What the hell is that?
She said money. She said gold.
I said he guarded it like gold. I said I didn't know why.
Fucking 1,000-year-old silverware? He's probably got his goddamn mother in that thing, Marcus.
They're all way too young.
What's in here? Where's the gold? Where's the treasure?
Yeah, they're just fighting. You know, you're supposed to take 3 minutes. That's the rule. 3 minutes, in and out, done. They were in there for God knows how long. It was ridiculous. Total amateurs.
A long time, and then they find this huge silver coffin. Now, that alone you could sell for a lot of money, so I don't know what they're complaining about.
Yeah, they were bitching. They were like, where's all the money? I bet there's money upstairs. Silver. Idiots.
It's a big silver coffin. Doesn't matter what's in it. Could be something cool in there. You don't know.
Where's the gold, my man?
And then they're on a plane, and they take the coffin away. And Van Helsing's like, oh no, this can't do. This won't do. Oh, he doesn't say that, but he's upset, obviously. And he's like, hey, Simon, you need to go do stuff. I got to go on a trip. And Simon just follows him. And he happens to be in the airport.
Yeah, he's like, I know people that work at the airport, so I was able to follow you.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
lots of situations where it's like, yeah, just they happen to be in places where it's like, I'm in the airport, which is also a weird thing.
Yeah.
He's in the airport. Where is he trying to go? Like, I need to go get Dracula in the coffin. Where is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the airport and check the news, and the news says I'll go to that town. Hey, there's the crash of the silver coffin missing in New Orleans. I guess I'm going there.
The 70s show guy. Ugh.
Yes.
I guess he gets the thing open and gets a bug in his eye, and it bites his little eyeball.
That was gross.
And then Dracula headbutts him with this big metal helmet and bites him. And then he starts just like rampaging around the plane, just like killing everybody. And then so the plane crashes.
Yeah.
And he's made some of them into vampires, not all of them.
Yeah.
I guess the ones that he thought were annoying enough. And then they were like on the news, they're watching the news, and they're like, hey, mysterious plane crash. It's the swamp of death or something like that.
I'm here in a swamp of death tonight for 5 doomed souls destined for points unknown. We have shocking footage of the presumed pilot. Sensitive viewers may want to turn away. He was bizarrely lashed to the yoke with radio cable and bound in twisted pipe. The remaining 4 victims, as well as an antique silver coffin, were removed to nearby Clark, where a tiny town hall has been transformed into a morgue tonight.
I don't know what the hell. 7 of 9 was talking about her boobs or something. She was on the news.
Turn me on at 11 to watch these stupid bugs kiss my...
The whole mirror thing was always a thing in vampire movies, and before it wasn't just video, it was like film because it had like silver in it, silver nitrate or something. But they just said whatever, you can't video a vampire.
That's good attention to detail, and it could be like a DSLR camera where you got it bouncing off of mirrors inside.
Maybe.
And so yeah, your camera's full of mirrors, man. You're not gonna see shit if it's a vamp.
I didn't think about that.
Very good attention to detail. I liked that. This is a masterclass in attention to detail and working with a budget.
Because then, Van Helsing goes to New Orleans, and him and Simon go in this big, like, gym. I'm not sure what it is. And on the ground is the silver coffin and some body bags. There's a big, like, vampire fight scene.
Oh, yeah.
And it's lots of, like, I don't know. It's all the robbery people. They're all vampires.
Mm-hmm.
And then I keep forgetting about Mary, like the main female lead in this movie.
Was she?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's like the interest of Dracula. She's so she's kind of forgettable in this. I forget she's there.
I often forgot who the lead was. So who would you say is the lead? It's Simon, right?
Oh, it's Dracula, right?
Ah.
Well, it's Dracula is...
Okay.
It's how you look at it. It's like, if you look at the Dracula story, and like from a Dracula point of view, he's just trying to like, oh, this is somebody I want to be with. And if you look at it from the human point of view, it's like he's an evil monster. And Jonathan Harker, or Simon in this case, is the guy.
So from his point of view, humans are evil.
Yeah,
there's another Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you remember? I remember you were talking earlier about the silver inconsistencies.
Yeah.
And so when he's in that fight in I don't know where this place is, with that one guy,
and
he's trying to put his little steampunk gun together, and he doesn't get it put together in time. He's like, oh, whoopsie! He's about to stab the guy with one of the silver bolts. The silver load. He's about to bust a load in his chest.
Oh, yeah.
All over it. And he's squeezing it, and then all of a sudden you see like the smoke coming off his hand. And he yells, owie, and drops it.
Eye for an eye, mate!
I hate those people.
Does he yell owie?
Not all the vampires, but the thief vampires.
There's a fight in the library between Simon and Dracula, and Simon has this thing. I don't know how he. I've never seen this done in anything. So he runs out of weapons. He tries to put his silver gun together, It doesn't work out.
Idiot.
Yeah, and then he picks up a Bible, and Dracula's like, "You're gonna kill me with the Bible?" And he opens the book, and the pages shoot out like an Addams Family book.
Fuck.
At Dracula.
Like a gag.
Yeah.
Little gotcha.
And it's like shoots out, and then like all the pages catch on fire as they touch him. And then he's gone. I think
they were wandering around like a cemetery. They're just hopping all over the place. They're like wandering around a cemetery, and I don't remember why, but she was like inside of a crypt for some reason, and Simon was like, "Where are you?" And she
hid in the crypt.
She like, she's hiding in there, and then she's like kind of crawling on top of like a coffin, and she busts through the coffin and stabs her hand right through the middle of her palm. There's a lot of Jambus imagery.
Which makes sense when you get to the end.
Yeah, so, I mean, should we?
Yeah, so
spoil it?
Yeah, so this is a big spoiler for this movie. You
So
find
he's
out...
not Vlad the Impaler, even though she got impaled through the hand.
Well, maybe he was Vlad the Impaler. But
oh my god!
But before he was Vlad the Impaler, if he was Vlad the Impaler, he was Judas, who turned in Jambus, and to the police, and said, "Hey, here's your rebel, noisemaker man. He'll be here later on." And Jesus was like, "You asshole, guess what? You can't die. You're gonna live forever. Here's your coins." That's why he's like silver, because of the silver coins.
That's why he doesn't like silver.
And then he tries to hang himself, but it doesn't work, and he can't die, and he's cursed to live on the earth forever.
And he hates everything to do with Jambus, just like in Troll Hunter. So there's another IP that this movie borrows from, even though I'm pretty sure Troll Hunter came after. Troll!
Did he say troll? And we're skipping over so much, but it's so much like stuff happens with new metal over it. And then there's a big thing at the end.
Virgin Records.
In Virgin Records.
Apparently only women shop at Virgin Records.
My favorite part in the Virgin Records part of the movie is...
Mary shows up and she's like, "Where's Lucy at?"
Where's Lucy? And the friend goes, "There was a guy here."
Mary, hey, there was a guy in here. Where's Lucy?
No. Before she even asked about Lucy, the other girl who works there goes, "Hey, Mary, there is a guy here." And it's like, "Where's Lucy?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, she left." And it's like, wait. Are you saying...
And then Simon shows up.
Yeah, it's like, here's another guy. Are you just excited about this guy? Like, are there no guys in this store? That was awesome.
Well, remember when Drac first walked in, and there was just nothing but like hot babes, and they're all just like drooling on the floor looking at him?
Yeah.
At that guy behind you. That's what all the girls were.
That guy right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he goes into Virgin Records, all these like 17-year-old girls are like, "Hey, who's that 2,000-year-old man? Oh." And he's like, "Hello." And then he sees Lucy come down the stairs and remembers her from like one of those weird Star Wars dreams. And it's like, "Oh, I have to see her, but she knows who the other person is." And they go back to their place and they have sex on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even notice it. I guess it must be very good.
Yeah. We saw our boobies.
We did.
She offered him coffee, right? The old hot coffee scene.
Yes.
In Grand Theft Auto or whatever. And he's like, "I don't drink coffee."
Hey, can I get you some coffee or something?
I don't drink coffee.
In the old Dracula, Bela Lugosi says, "Are you having some wine?" And he goes, "I don't drink. Pause. Wine." That's an old Dracula thing, and they.
You know, that's kind of awesome that they did that. There are a few little Easter eggs in this that I was happy about.
I feel like Dracula.
Then for some reason, Lucy was named after the Peanuts character, and that was the instant that they started banging on the ceiling.
I mean, all right.
It's somebody's kink. It's somebody's kink out there, clearly.
Well, that reminds me of a time. And it kind of connects because, like Lucy and Mary, I worked in like a big chain. It was a bookstore / music store. And my place that I was, as a young 20-something, that I was paying for was not as nice as theirs. But I probably had just as much money as they did. And a friend of mine said, I was online with this girl, and she said we could meet up and go on a date. She said that she looks just like Velma from Scooby-Doo. I said, all right. So time passes, I'm doing my thing, and fucking Velma from Scooby-Doo walks in. She has the same outfit, the same haircut. Like, she looks like she walked out of the cartoon. She was dressed and looks identical to Velma from Scooby-Doo. She doesn't like resemble her. She's like a constant cosplayer of Velma from Scooby-Doo in her life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that's fucking crazy. That was like the Scooby-Doo cartoon. Reminded me of the Peanuts, I guess. I don't know. Random stuff.
Yeah, everybody's got their kink.
Yeah.
I feel like that line was for
what
somebody who was making the movie and not for the audience.
I bet they went home that day to her place. It's like, oh, you be Fred, and you tell Daphne to fuck off. But yeah, there's a big fight.
What was with her accent, though? Mary's accent.
She's English.
She was always whispering, and she had this non-denominational, non-region specific British accent. I have never heard one like that. It sounded like she was faking it. Do you think that she was faking it?
I don't have to see if she's British or not.
I didn't look.
Yeah.
Comments below. Everybody look it up and put it in the comments. Is she actually British?
But yeah, she was whispering. I was like, what is she saying? And she was very forgettable in this movie. She
was friends with the pastor. Also, would be forgettable if it wasn't Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. Good in Firefly.
Yeah, he also played Nathan Drake in a fan film.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I mean, he looks like him.
But some stuff happens, and it's like, we gotta save this girl, and then like Van Helsing is killed, and it's like, okay, sure. And then there's on the rooftop where Simon is fighting off all these vampire ladies.
Yeah, well, he gets lured into an alleyway during Mardi Gras, and girls are flapping their boobs around, getting beads, and he sees the ladies, and they're like, come over here. And the one lady, she like totally flashes her snooter at him. Yeah. And he follows them into the alleyway, and he's like getting in a fight with them. And then 7 of 9 tried to Harvey Weinstein him. She's like, you want to make it big in show business. But he like stabs her, and then he smiles about it like a fucking moron. But there was still like at least 2 or 3 other chicks. And so one of them just, walks up and pistol whips him in the head and knocks him out. Yeah, and he wakes up. But another part when in the street, there are people showing their private areas at strangers and then throwing beads to them. I saw that. I was like, you got it backwards, lady. Like, if you go to Mardi Gras and you come out with so many beads, you're like Mr. T, and you can't walk anymore, that means you did some really questionable things. Yeah. Sweet. But they're on this roof, and this is where all the rest of the shit happens. They're fighting. Simon's fighting the bride vampires. Like in the Dracula, all these bride vampires, just like in white, and they serve Dracula. And Dracula has Mary and says, like, you weren't born. You're a vampire, but you were born a vampire, which is weird because I guess maybe she's half, or she has the blood because she's Van Helsing's daughter, which they don't explain how that shit happens. But then he makes her a vampire,
which I've never seen the downside to that. Like, all right, so I can.
Wait, wasn't she a vampire already?
Kind of. But I don't understand why she's so upset. Like, what's your life gonna be like? We're gonna go to school and like work at Virgin Records and like
because it was
your friends, like
new metal.
Just be a vampire and that's fun. So they're like, hey, you have to fight him and drink his blood to Simon.
Yeah.
And so it's like she does, but turns out she doesn't. She just bites her lip and leaves blood on his neck.
Yeah, she faked it. And then she does this really badass move. I don't know where this came from. This chick, in one motion, decapitates the lady, continues to spin, and stabs this dude in the chest.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Where did that come from? But then you see the chick's head. The chick's head just like falls. And it looked like the early Terminator models where they had like before they had the living tissue skin, and they had like the rubber skin, and so it wasn't really tricking the resistance people that well. She looked a little bit rubbery and bouncy, but that was okay.
But this big fight, and so like they kill the brides, and then there's a fight between Mary and Dracula, and he's the whole time
she's like, "This is how you die."
Well, the whole time he's talking to this big picture of Jesus, which is a weird, like neon, like painting.
Yeah, it was like fluorescent tubes inside of this big cross thing with a painting of Jambus on it.
It's like a smirky Jambus, like, how you doing down there? What's up?
Hey, I see your boobies.
Cool. And
your dick.
So she takes this wire, is what in the before times when he tried to hang himself with rope and it failed, but that wouldn't kill him anyway. And so she pushes him off the building, and he's choking, but he'll be fine. But the sun comes up, and he's burning alive.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you got him. I don't think she had a plan though. It's another thing where, what was your plan? Like, was your plan to wait until dawn? Were you waiting to have like a wire to hang him with? Like, what were you gonna do? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
The answer is new metal.
It is new metal.
And she's like, I am Mary Van Helsing. I am my father's daughter.
Yeah.
I am my father's daughter.
For the first time in my life, I know who I am and where my future lies. I am Mary Van Helsing. I am my father's daughter. And nothing can ever take that away.
Yeah, they had a whole like sequel set up where she was like on the
there was gonna be a sequel
with Simon, and then she's like dressed like a Matrix person, and it's like, I'm gonna hunt vampires. You just killed them. That's another thing.
Yeah, they're all dead. You're the last one. We're gonna have to kill you now.
But she's not but was she a vampire though?
She's
her eyes. Remember, at the end, her eyes went from vampire eyes to people eyes.
Well, yeah.
So I mean,
weren't they doing that? Did the vampires always have vampire eyes?
No, but if I this is what I thought happened. She fell off the roof and she was fine. She's a vampire, and then like Dracula was burnt, and then he said, "I release you." To her, and I thought that released her from being a vampire. And now she's like, oh, I know how to kill vampires now. I'm going to the Simon guy, and we're gonna kill a bunch of vampires. That's what I thought was happening. But then there's like flashes of faces, and then the movie ends. But overall, I'd say it was at least entertaining. I've seen worse things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
People, you don't like the characters, but they all die.
They all have a purpose, and that purpose in any good horror movie is
to die.
Yeah.
They do it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
They do. So I would say this movie begins, then it ends, and you go, ah. That's what I think. It's all right. It happens. This happened.
And then we get to hear some sweet new metal in the credits, and that wakes us back up.
Well, that's cool, man. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was fine, I suppose.
All right. Comment below. What should we watch next?
Yeah.
Give us your opinion. Don't forget to click that bell. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Follow us on our GeoCities and Angel Fire sites as well.